You make us cry with the music and the outfits. You did it.
I did?
Yes. But it was really good.
I didn't mean it.
What was the starting point of that collection?
This collection is a starting point was I want to break everything. Broken outfit by child.
Okay.
Very childish cutting. It was so difficult.
Merci beaucoup.
Only a designer as audacious as Yohji Yamamoto would present a collection comprised largely of offcuts and textile scraps. At 80 years old, the Japanese Yamamoto remains an undisputed master of architecturally inspired fashion.
I think there's simultaneously a simplicity and a certain generosity, which I would say correspond to a union of identity and rigor. And at the same time, there's that famous excess, too, which is a key part of his signature look.
At Issey Miyake, meanwhile, clothes seem to hover above the body. This collection from Satoshi Kondo is entirely comprised of hemp fibre. It's a celebration of washi, a traditional Japanese papermaking process, by turns poetic, sensitive and erotic. This show is as concerned by the space beneath the clothes as the clothes themselves.
I spent a night in a hotel near Hiroshima. My room was entirely covered in washi paper. I felt immediately comforted, calmed, so with my team I decided to start working out how this paper could become a key element in this collection.
Japanese fashion isn't solely the preserve of Japanese designers. After completing a residency in Tokyo, Parisian designer Tatiana Quard completed her studies at Amsterdam's Rietveld Academy. Now, back in Japan for good, she's fully committed to her eponymous label.
This collection is expressed largely through tubes and lines, as you can see there. It's about different things being layered upon one another. It's quite conceptual. It's about people meeting and how our lives can change completely. It comes from my tattoo, which is of a Mondrian painting, which explains how a single encounter can change the meaning we derive from life. And that's kind of what happened with the label Oino-san. But sometimes these encounters, they're spread out. We lose contact with people, but then we find them again further down the road. And that's why these lines, for example, connect up and then disconnect. The way I see clothes, it's really about architecture for the body, which allow you to create a new silhouette every time.
But of course, Paris Fashion Week isn't only concerned with Asia. To the east of the capital, in the Bois de Vincennes, it's the second foreign edition of FIMO 228, the Togo International Fashion Festival. African fashion has become big business in recent years, the continent vying for position as a global fashion leader. And African designers are keener than ever to present their work on the Parisian stage.
I think it's about time Africans take a bold step and evolve with fashion. I mean, we've always done fashion and everything, but sometimes it's a little bit too cultural and the West can't relate to it. I'm hoping that I'm going to tell a cultural story today and the West will be able to relate with it because it's contemporary fashion. Does that make any sense? Yeah, we're here, we're part of you, and we have a modern African story. My story, authentically African, because I'm trained in Nigeria, worked in Nigeria, built my brand out of Nigeria, Lagos, and I'm projecting it to the rest of the world. So I'm hoping that it's not just seen as, oh, African fashion, but just fashion by a Nigerian designer. That's it.
C'est un pantalon, white pants or skirt?
It's a skirt.
Finally, skirts for men.
I call it the waltz skirt because it uses up a lot of fabric, and when you spin, it slows down. It looks like it's doing a waltz.
What vibe are you wanting the models to give off when they are going down the catwalk?
For this collection, a rather mysterious attitude, something nocturnal about them, quite charismatic.
You want them to dazzle.
Absolutely, always.
We're already targeting the African diaspora, but the next stop is Europe, because we really want Europeans to get to know African designers. These days, there are a lot of them. Today, when people in Europe wear African designers, they say, we want to support them. But no, we're not going to support them. We're going to wear African designers because we're proud of them and we love what they do.
In the 1980s, Paris first welcomed a new generation of Japanese designers, propelling Japanese fashion onto the international stage. Is the same thing now happening with Africa?